I'm an equine massage therapist and I've worked on hundreds of horses, and I can tell you that I have never met one that doesn't love this technique, and I want to show you how to do it. So this massage technique is actually going to be on your horse's glute medius muscle. Medius is the major muscle that pushes your horse's hind end forward. My clients actually refer to this as the fan favorite fan technique. And I actually really can't believe that I'm teaching it to you for free, because it is a cornerstone of my program that I use on my horses. I find it helps so many horses that deal with lower back and pelvic pain, and especially horses who have issues in the canter. So what you're going to do is you're going to find your horse's hip bone, which is right here. And you're going to visualize a little fan from it, which is on the glute medius muscle. So it's going to run just about like this. And then what you're gonna do is you're going to go in the direction of the fan, like this. So that was just a demonstration, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to engage the tissue. So what a lot of massage therapists do is they just go over top of the tissue like this. Whereas myofascial release, and in my techniques, I teach you to actually engage the tissue. So you're using just enough pressure that you can see your hands denting the horse's muscle a little bit, but you're not forcing it. You're not going to make them feel uncomfortable at all. So I'm starting on the first edge of the fan, that's diagonal like this. And don't worry about it being perfect. This is a big area. Your horse is going to enjoy you massaging them no matter what, even if you're not doing it perfectly. So I'm going forward and I'm waiting for her to tighten against me, and at that point I would hold. So I don't know if you guys could see it, but she was tightening a little bit through here in this area. So I'm just going to hold it and wait for her to soften. And you don't need a lot of pressure, especially when you're first starting out. So now I'm just going to crawl forward because it seems pretty soft. See how she likes it. Good. And so that was the end of the first fan. Now we're going to do the second fan. And you can choose, on the second, you can either go straight or you can go a little bit more diagonal. I generally go a little bit more straight. So I'm, again, just starting on her hip, and I'm going straight to her spine, and actually immediately she tightened a little bit through here. I'm just waiting, and she actually relaxed again pretty quickly, so I'm going to keep moving. Good girl. Yep. And then she tightened just a little bit more, so I'm just going to wait a few seconds there and see if she relaxes. She softened again, so I'm just moving again very slowly. You can actually go even more slowly than this. A lot of people are surprised by how slowly I go, and that is actually one of the big foundational pieces of myofascial release, and it's why it's so effective. So one of the main points of myofascial release is that you engage the tissue, and then you actually wait for it to soften and open up, and then you get a release. And it makes this kind of work a lot more effective, because instead of going through the tissue and potentially irritating or even damaging it, and making the horse or person more sore, you're working with the tissue and allowing it to open at its own pace. And then you're getting lasting results. So now after she released and softened, I'm just gonna keep moving forward a little bit. She's responding well to that. She is twitching just a little bit, but that isn't a huge reaction. Those of you who have jumping horses or, oh, good girl, or horses who are really sore, you may find a much bigger reaction when you palpate this area. So I'm going to finish that, and then I'm doing my third part of the fan, which is more this direction. And I see just a little bit of twitching, so I'm waiting. Again, you want to work with your horse and you want to work with the tissue to have lasting results and to be able to actually benefit them. And then that was a little bit of a bigger reaction. She tightened through here. So I'm just going to wait here for a little while and wait for her to relax. If I was doing this on a horse that was really sore, I would be spending a lot longer on this area. Dixie is lucky enough to get worked on me once a month and get magna-waved, and her mom is my best friend and she massages her all the time as well. So Dixie is less reactive than your typical horse would be to this area. So just expect to see a little bit more of a reaction in your own horse and don't be too worried about it. Of course, if there's anything you are concerned about with your horse, it's definitely a good idea to contact your vet. So now I'm doing the last stroke of the fan just through here. Oh, and then there's a little bit more of a reaction right in this area. And so I'm just going to gently hold this as I continue to move through. And you can, you know, if you have a bigger horse, it can be a little bit easier on your shoulders to stand on a step stool. I definitely recommend getting ones that aren't like a 1-2 step because it's easier for horses to get their legs tangled in that. It's generally a little bit better to just do a like one little square step stool sort of situation. I'm gonna keep going and then we're all done. And I like to just give the area a little pat. Go ahead and try this on your horse and let me know what you think.